Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is about a brand that I have done several videos on, from a yellow makeup look to review videos, and they are always kind of my more popular videos. And this is on Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place just came out with another palette, and I feel like I love Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I have them all and I just love them. I think that they're pigmented. These were kind of the palettes that I wanted to get because I felt that in my collection everything was neutral and I never wanted to leave my comfort zone. And when I saw some of the Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, I'm like, yes, that blue, that green, that pink, that orange, that red. I see so many looks, and it inspired me to step out of my comfort zone when it comes to makeup looks. And it made me think of eye color and just eye makeup in a completely different way. Obviously right now I barely have makeup on because it was a long day at work, and sorry guys. I really wanted to get this video out for you, and I will definitely do a try on with this look, but I thought I'd share you guys this palette and compare it to the other ones, because I do have videos comparing all the other palettes but not one of all of them as of right now. And if you guys didn't know, the new palette is the Saharan 2 by Juvia's Place. Can we talk about the packaging? They had a vote on what colors, and I know I voted for purple. It's just so beautiful. It's vibrant, it's colorful, it tells a history. If you guys didn't know, Juvia's Place is a black owned cosmetic company. They do have eyeshadow palettes, they do have blush palettes. They came out with a couple of I guess like gel eyeliners, and they do have brushes. They are rumored to be coming out with liquid lipsticks in the future. If they do, you know my butt is buying it because I buy everything Juvia's Place. But yes, let's get into it. This is the packaging. I love the purple and the gold detailing. The names are always kind of just like, it's like, I don't know if it's the word is embossed, but it's like you can feel the texture of the lettering. And as Juvia's Place has grown, one aspect that I really love in the palettes is that they put the name on the top. So how I store my makeup palettes is that I store them like kind of like a book, like this way. So when I look on the top, I can see the name of the palette, which makes it a lot easier for me. Let me show you guys the inside of the palette, and ooh, so stunning. First, I want to talk about the top, even though it has no product. Do you see the design? This is what I'm talking about. Look at this packaging. It's purple, it's yellow, it's gold. Just this intricate like detail. You definitely is something that you can see that's inspired by fabrics, by textiles. Very beautiful, very elegant. These are the shades. Now this is kind of more of a, I would use it as like an everyday with a couple of pops of color, because these blues are definitely pops of colors. But you can definitely use this bottom row for everyday. Hell, you can use just like the top row, the bottom drawer, and like the middle as everyday. There are 3 mattes, a couple of shimmers, and a couple of like glittery shades. I love it, and the names are in there. What's weird is that I am having a couple of, not gonna lie guys, I am having slight eye problems right now. Nothing like serious, just my vision is changing for the better apparently. But something that I'm having a little bit difficulty with in this palette particularly is that this yellow is making it really hard for me to read the names, because the names are like a really washed out white. It's not like a bright white, but kind of like a muted white, and it's a little bit difficult. You really have to get into it, but I will definitely butcher the names. Some of them not like Marrakesh, Taza, Zora, Fez, Berber. I'm gonna swatch these. I'm not gonna swatch them over any primer, which is what I would do when I do any eye look, but this is them without any primer, guys, and they are so buttery. Something that I had a problem with in the Zulu palette is because a lot of it was mattes, and the mattes were a lot drier than what I've seen in the past, which is weird because their eyeshadows are never dry, and you know that's just weird for me. But obviously it could have just been a batch issue, and I never had any other issues with any other palettes. But guys, these colors are so stunning. Right off the bat, I can tell you that the mattes do come swatch a little chalky, but I always say that just because something swatches chalky doesn't mean that the pigmentation isn't great. It doesn't mean that they're terrible eyeshadows and they're not going to perform well on the eyes. It just means that they don't swatch nice. And just because something swatches beautifully doesn't mean that it's going to apply well on your eye either. Like that, it's like a catch-22. But I really like it. I think it's a really well-rounded palette. You know, you have your pops of color, like the really like bright, like aquamarine, silvery blue, and the one that I can't pronounce the name. Then you have like this coppery red, this deep red. I'm feeling a lot of holiday looks with this one because of like the reds and like the blues. I could see it for like New Year's. I could see it for Christmas. I could see it for Thanksgiving. I can see like everyday work things. You can definitely use this color right here, which is Aziza, as a highlight. Just the way that it applies, it's like a yellowy, like almost a duochrome color. My first impressions of the palette is that it seems like it'll be just as great as the other ones. Again, I really love Juvia's Place for the eyeshadow palettes, just the way that they look. I think that they're stunning. Some of these colors are a bit similar to other ones that are in the palette. They're not exactly alike. I can tell you right off the bat that this one that I can't pronounce is a unique color I haven't seen in any, like really any of the palettes, the way that it swatches. Nomad is really similar to a lot of them. Not exactly the same. It's a little bit more, it pulls more red than other shades. Berber, they have a couple of blue shades, but again, it pulls in a different blue tone. Aziza, similar, but it's not, it's like I said, none of them really pull the same in all three palettes. Maybe Fez pulls similar to some of the browns that they've had in their other palettes, but again, it's not that similar. So I'm going to compare this Saharan 2 to the first one, and this is the first one. Obviously, they're different amounts of shadows. This one has 9, this one has 12. The pans are obviously different. This one, like Senegal, it looks really close to Hadia. If I'm butchering that, I apologize, but again, they look similar, but definitely the one in this palette has a little bit more of like an orangey coppery undertone than Senegal. Zoya is really similar to them, but again, like they're really similar, but they're completely different. Do you need this one if you have this one? I say yeah, go for it. I feel like this one is more wearable and everyday, more people can use it than this one, just for the sheer fact of Sokoto and Hamila, or Jamila and Katina. No, really more Jamila and Sokoto are like really intense for a lot of people, versus this one. This one I feel like is more wearable for people, and obviously like this is the first time they don't put the face on top, but I love this. I love the print. I think it's just stunning, and I'm glad that they did that. Obviously different in size. This one mirrors the size of the Zulu palettes. This is what they look like. Both of them are beautiful palettes. While this isn't an eyeshadow palette, it is part of the Saharan family basically, and this is the blush palette. Obviously the pans, this pan size is a lot bigger than this one. These are blushes. Again, I know in my last video when I talked about the blushes, I said you can use them on the eyes. Guys, you also have to be careful, because while I would use this on my eyes, it doesn't mean that it is eye safe. And definitely do your research. Just don't put something on your eye because I'm like, yeah, I would do that too. Just because I say I would put the blushes on my eyes, just don't do it just because I would do it. Really look into makeup and what you're putting on your eyes, because something may not be eye safe, and I don't want to be, you know, the reason why you put something on your eye and it gave you an allergic reaction. That's definitely not why I made a channel. I just try to tell you guys what I would do, and just because I would do it doesn't mean that it's correct, and doesn't mean that I would advise you to do what I do, because a girl is crazy sometimes and my skin is pretty tough and it can handle a lot. But please do your research. That's one thing I do encourage on my channel. Do your research. Watch many people, watch many reviews. Don't just take one person's opinion and be like, yes, she said it and it must be true. No, please, please, please. If there's anything that I can advocate in this video or any of my videos, is that you become an avid researcher. You become you're an informed consumer, and that's all that I ask of you guys whenever you watch any of my videos. And if I'm wrong, please don't hesitate to let me know, like, girl, you're wrong, you shouldn't do this, because you're teaching me and then I could teach other people. So back to the video. This is the Saharan. So that was version 2 of the blush palette, and this is version 1. Obviously, again, not 100% the same. Different colors. But yeah, these are blushes, so again, I wouldn't necessarily put these on your eyes. I mean, I would, but you know, don't be me. But I think that they're stunning. I love this series. I think it's beautiful. This one is a lot different than the first palette that ever came out by Juvia's, which is the Nubian. This is your everyday neutrals. This is a favorite of mine. This one doesn't have names on it, but this color right here is a little bit, it has a little bit more darker like brown in it than Hadiyah, but they're really similar, like in the same family. Which is this one right here, is really similar to Hadiyah right here. It's just a little, it's just a smidge darker, but definitely the same family, definitely the same tones. I can see what they're doing here, but again, they're not one and the same. The next that came after that palette was the Nubian 2. These are obviously different. This has 12 again, this has 9. Some of the colors are like somewhat similar. Like I can see Zuri being in the same family as Aziza. Zuri is a little bit more metallic-y than Aziza. Ya is really in the same family as Hadiyah, but it, again, like more reddy, has more of a red tone than the others. Nefertiti is a little bit more orangey yellow, while Marrakesh is like orangey peach, like. But again, completely different palettes. Some of the colors, same schemes. Like Cleopatra is definitely a deeper blue than Berber. But again, do you need both if you have one? If you're an eyeshadow hoarder like myself and you need the whole entire collection, maybe. But you know, obviously none of these are mandatory at all. None of these. This is the Saharan 2 palette compared to the Masquerade palette, which is my all-time favorite. This one, I just love the colors in it. Dahlia is really close to Berber, but again, like different finishes. This is Dahlia right here where my pinky finger is, and down there, the only blue, dark blue is Marrakesh. The dark blue is Berber in this palette. Very similar, but not quite. Giza is really close to Aziza, but not 100%. Casablanca is really similar to Hadiyah. I'm seeing a lot of like coppery colors, and you know, they look very similar, but they're a lot different when you swatch them and put them on. It's just weird because a lot of people say, well, if you have them, they look the same. A lot of the Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, in my opinion, they do look similar, so I don't think you need them all. But if you love how they look and you love their formula and you love their eyeshadows and how affordable they are, then by all means, you know, get them all, because, you know, it's like Pokemon. You need to have them all. This is the Magic palette versus the Saharan 2. Again, some colors are pulled in the same family, but definitely not the same. This one I think has the most like variation in it. I just pulled this palette out again and I realized how much I love it, and I barely use it because I haven't had the time to really play with the Magic palette. But Kessie right here is calling me. I'm surprised I haven't used that one yet. Hell, I haven't. Sheesh, I'm really slacking on this palette. But yeah, a lot of these colors, Yamoya is, no, it's not. I was gonna say it's close to the one I can't pronounce in this palette, which is this one right here. But this one is like a bluey, silvery, greeny, like a bluish silver. This is what that one is. And no, I think that's a unique color that they've never done, in my opinion. And then the last palette, which is my all-time favorite color palette. I've used it several times just for 2 colors really, and this is the Zulu palette versus the Saharan 2. Obviously completely different. This one is so bright, and yes, this palette to me screams fall, it screams holidays. And just because of the colors, like you can go really neutral for work here. If you want like a cranberry look for Thanksgiving, look, you have this reddish brown, this coppery color. Like you can do a lot of fall looks with this eyeshadow palette. I can't wait to like play with it and really put the colors on my eyes, especially like I think I'm gonna do like a reddish, like cranberry smoky eye. I can see it. I can see it, yes. Like a coppery, and or like, if not, no, just do like an all over kind of like reddish smoky eye that's like intense, and then do like a reddish like reddish like matte here, but like a halo eye. Just like the possibilities, I'm telling you, just like these red tones. Oh yes. So when I first got this on pre-order, it was $17.50. I think now it retails for $21. I think that is pretty decent for eyeshadows. You're paying a little over $2 per eyeshadow. Do I recommend it? I mean, hell yeah, girl, why not? I love Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I think this one, if you haven't gotten any, this one would be a nice start or a nice gift, because then people have a chance to, you know, work with their neutrals as well as a couple of pops of color. And I think it's stunning. Do I think you need all the Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes? No. I think just get the ones that speak out to you. I know that when I first started getting them, I wanted palettes that I could use as pops of color, not just neutral palettes, because I have so many and there are more affordable ones out there. I think just get the ones that call out to you or speak to you the most. Get one and try out the formula. Don't just get like, oh, I see all these eyeshadow palettes, I need them all, because maybe you see them on the computer, or you see them on my video, or you see them on Instagram or anyone else's video, and you're like, they look cool, I should get them. But then you try and be like, I'm never gonna use these colors. Definitely do your research, look at photos, look at swatches, just buy one just so you can see the formula. But really just get the one that really calls to you. I don't think you need all of them. If you want all of them, by all means get it. I think it's affordable. I've never had problems with the customer service. I know a lot of people have had issues with the customer service. Definitely look up their reviews to see what they said, if anything's been resolved. I personally have never had any issues, so I can't really speak to that. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. As you're on your way to that like button, please hit that subscribe button, because I know you see it there. And when you subscribe, don't forget to tell your friends so they can tell their friends and 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 their friends, and we'll all be part of this great big familia. Don't forget to follow me on my social media, my Snapchat, my Instagram, my Twitter. Slide up in those DMs. Let me know what you're thinking. I love talking to you guys. And if you have any comments, questions, you know, leave that down below. As always, guys, I hope you truly enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.